Sweet, sweet Jamaica, nah left ya. Aki, I'm a selfish, nah left ya. Nah left ya, nah left ya. Good day, car lovers. And today, we're gonna do another video on the Hilux 91 Lux. So, some people, cause I'm selling a few parts of the donor truck, and some people are curious as to what can fit the Hilux, what from the left hand drive can fit the right hand drive. So I'm gonna go through a few of the stuff that work for me and few that of course can't work, like the steering system, for example. That's not gonna work. A lot of people, as soon as I say you're selling parts from the Toyota pickup, which is the left-hand drive, they want one of the first things they ask you for is the steering box. And the right-hand drive guys as well always want the steering box. Well, that of course can interchange, but for the most part, most things are the same because the chassis are almost the same. As you can see, the 91 Lux, 91 Hilux use a solid axle suspension, and the Toyota pickup use independent suspension for the front. So basically, the right side can move independent of the left side and vice versa. Hence the name independent suspension. The rear uses the same springs as the rear of the Hilux because that's what's on the Hilux right now, and I just brought over everything including the back end. So this is not the Hilux right back end, correct back end. It's the for the Toyota pickup that we're using at the moment. And as you can see, the Toyota pickup uses 5 lugs, and on the Hilux it's regular. It's normally 6 lugs. Have these covered because of the rain. Probably show you on this side. So yeah, 6 lugs. We have one stud broken off here. Yeah, and 6 of them. Another one broken off here as well. So yeah, so what works of the pickup and the Hilux? As you can see, we're using the bed, the back of the pickup, which is the bed of the pickup, and we use the fenders. They bolt up perfectly. The hood can use as well, and we have the mirror. We're using the mirror from the pickup, from the Toyota pickup, the left-hand drive, matches up the same way. The doors is the only difference I see so far. See, we have even the door handle. We have even the door handle using. Everything works just the same. The floor of the Hilux had some rotten spots, so I just chop it out, and then I went and chop out the pickup, the right side. Basically matches up the same way. Again, waiting on a welder to come. Sad to say, the tradesmen, they are very unreliable. It is what it is. although I am a tradesman myself, but I at least try to be professional. These guys, they'll tell you I come in and and showing up the internals for the door, so the windows can slide up and up and down. The channel and all that works just the same, because everything inside here came out of the pickup. Likewise over there came out of the pickup. The glass won't work, not for this hilux. It won't work. What else? I'm not sure if the drive shaft will work, because we're gonna have to try to get a drive shaft. We're gonna have to try to get a 4x4 gearbox. Hopefully the one that came out exactly the one that came out of the hilux, so we don't have to do too much modifications. This hilux originally had in a 3L engine, so we're hoping to get back the gearbox, a 4x4 gearbox, like a 3L 4x4 gearbox. So hopefully the drive shaft going to the rear will fit. Hopefully, we don't know until we come across that point. We'll know what's what. My intention is to drive it as a two-wheel, using the rear, the back end from the pickup, before switching over to four-wheel drive. You're not going off the budget, so just using it as a two-wheel drive before going to the four-wheel drive. So yeah, so looking at the pickup, see, we sold quite a few parts of it, and then we ditch it over here. Have it thrown away over here. Supposed to have a guy coming by for some parts soon as well. So yeah, it was basically garbage. So it didn't make any sense trying to save this. Too many rotten spots. You can see why the previous owner sold it to. It had quite a few good parts, but I guess after they slammed it into something, whatever it was, I could see why they just get rid of it. The chassis got broken. Look like the front of the chassis right there probably hit into a stone, and then it broke the chassis here, and it bent it here as well. Here and here, so no good. The chassis got more damage than the cab itself. You can see right there the cab pushed in, but that would have been an easy push out, but would have need a new chassis and a whole heap of rust repair, so it just wasn't worth saving. So might as well gotten rid of the engine and gearbox as we did, and use as much body parts as we can. But yeah, so what I was doing just a while ago was actually rebuilding some bolts, like the bolts that go through the spring eye. Yeah, fitting the bushing onto them, because I got a few of these. I got from the scrapyard. The previous owner of this red truck didn't bother with them. I guess he couldn't locate them, so he just did his own thing by welling out, because they only use those on the rear, but on the four-wheel drive they use them both at the front and the back for the spring eye. for the eye of the spring. So this guy just weld it out and use a regular bolt on the rear of the spring. So I managed to get like about 4 of those from a scrapyard, but I got them from the CM Toyota pickup because it's not easy to get the hilux parts, but they were all rusted out. So what I had to do is just basically I had to rebuild all 4. I'm on the last one now, finishing up the last one. So yeah, had to get a piece of metal and basically just beat away all the rust from it, and then once I get away all the chips of rust, the heavy pieces, then I took a wire wheel and went over it. Then after the wire wheel I did some welding, and now I'm finishing off with grinding away at it to make it smooth. Yeah, so I have to rebuild some of the parts. I could probably go on eBay or something and try to find them, but can't be bothered. So just rebuild them, and I replace all the spring eye bushings as well that they use. So basically, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So this goes here. Yeah. For the front. So use one here for the front, another here, and use a regular bolt for the back ones. Just use regular bolts for the back ones. Regular bolts, you can use regular bolts. And then it used one here at the front, at the spring for the rear, and on the other side the same thing, and then basically just regular hanger bolts for the rear. So yeah guys, you can get for the 90 for this shape hilux and pickup, a lot of the parts are interchangeable, and just a few things like, as I said, the steering system and the dashboard and things like that, yeah, wouldn't work. But for the most part, most of the parts do work. Yep. I don't know if this information will be helpful to anybody, but yep, there you go. Alright guys, car lovers out.